right, so today's episode comes from one of our coaching clients in the exclusive group who asked, how many followers should I have before reaching out to a record label? All right, before I answer this, I'm just gonna assume that you're an artist that wants to sign to a record label. I know a lot of people want to be independent these days. I'm gonna assume that your music is already good enough that you feel qualified to reach out to a record label. And I'm gonna assume that when you say record label, you're talking about like semi-major to major rather than just like a small in-house project, because there's a lot of those as well. Now, those are a lot of ifs, but just for the purposes of this video so we can give you some good content, those are the assumptions we're working with. All right, first and foremost, most record labels do not accept unsolicited material. Unsolicited means directly from the artist or maybe even their manager, but it's not from an attorney, it's not from an agent, it's not from a PR firm. And most record labels have a policy that they will not accept submissions and they will usually not even investigate artists that are unsolicited. Now, not to worry, there are some tricky, sort of dirty tricks you can do to get around that. Most notably, make a fake email that says like so-and-so management, so-and-so attorneys at law, blah, 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 and then just write the email as if you were an attorney. Not saying that's guaranteed to get you as far as, not saying that's a guarantee, but you know, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire, right? All right, so just being aware of the solicited, unsolicited dichotomy is really important. Second thing, the other kind of dirty hidden secret you should be doing is reaching out to particular A&Rs, even though A&R departments are starting to die, particular employees in the record label that you can find on LinkedIn, that you can find on Twitter, that you can find by just a little basic research about people that are actually currently working at the record label that aren't the big fucking executives. The executives don't even have emails that you can email directly. Like, there's a lot of levels to this shit, like Meek Mills. So LinkedIn is the trick. You want to find a mid-tier employee, ideally with a Twitter feed, but even just directly on LinkedIn. And you would like to, just if you want to take 2 levels, you want to make an account that makes it at least seem like it's solicited. Those are some little hacks to get you going so that you're at least not completely ignored. Now, let's assume that they actually do read your email and they do pay attention to what you've got to say. You've gotten through that first hurdle, that first gatekeeper. Second thing, they're gonna check your numbers. Like, they're gonna check your social media numbers. There's just no way around it. I wish it was easier, but that's just the way that it is. So you definitely need to be taking care on a day-to-day business with building your social media brand, getting those followers, all the things that we teach in the Online Kingpin program, our new How to Rap Social Media video course, which you can find out in the video description box below. Shameless plug, there, I did it. So no matter what, you need to be doing the groundwork to get your social media real tight so that when they look at your numbers, they have a gut reaction that's very positive as opposed to very negative. But not to worry, let's say that your numbers are not ideal, but you do have a little buzz going. What they're gonna be looking at even more than just the raw number of followers is fan engagement, growth, likes, shares, and comments. I wanna see the kind of comments that you're getting. If you're not at 10,000 followers, but you get 200 comments on every post, and it's like, oh, I love you, your last song was really great, I can't wait for the new project, that is something, that's a feather in your cap. They also use tools like socialblade.com. That's social, as in social media, blade, like the movie with Wesley Snipes.com. That's a site that shows YouTube and Instagram growth. It does predictions. It's something that you should have in your arsenal as well. And they look at things like comment ratio, like ratio, etc. So the good news is, even if you don't have these crazy raw big follower numbers, you can make a dent and you can make an impression with these labels if you have that fan engagement, if you have that growth, you sow real potential. All right, so last point I want to make, because I know you might watch this and be like, all right, that was all great, but I want raw numbers. So here are some ballpark figures, raw numbers that might be of some service to you. Mind you, I do not work for a record label. I'm not an executive. So this is just my opinion, having dealt with record labels on and off for 15 years, been an artist for over a decade, been a coach for 4 years. It's sort of like you see laymen say things like, I am not a lawyer, when they're giving you free legal advice, or somebody giving you financial advice and saying, I'm not an accountant though. This is just one man's opinion with some real life experience attached to it. Now, as far as raw numbers, in my opinion, about somebody who's part of the powers that be as they're evaluating your stuff, I'd say IG, it would be good to have 5K to 10K plus followers. Twitter, it'd be good to have 20K to 40K plus. YouTube, 20K to 100K plus. And SoundCloud, 5K to about 10K plus as far as followers. Now, you might feel like those numbers are pretty intense, and this is with all the caveats I talked about earlier. I am not a record label executive. This is just my professional opinion as a a rap coach. Furthermore, they're going to be looking at the amount of comments that you're getting, the amount of likes that you're getting, and the growth. They have tools to evaluate. So don't get scared away by the numbers, but I wanted to make sure to not just give you a bunch of fluff talk and make sure to give you a direct answer. But overall, the most important thing is that your music is good, that your growth is there, that you're doing the day-to-day maintenance to grow your channel, and that you can show really potential big growth. If you do those things, you're gonna be fine. Now, I would also suggest rewatching all the little hacks I said about in the beginning so that you're gonna be feeling like you're solicited and they're gonna take you more seriously. But no matter what, chance favors the prepared mind. And doing your day-to-day social media grind, putting those numbers in, getting those posts up, that is preparation. That's the prepared mind. Now, I mentioned earlier, we do have a full-service social media course that you can check out called the Online Kingpin. Turn your social media into a one-man marketing mafia. Cool little tagline there. That's in the first link in the video description box below to help you grow your numbers, all that good stuff. Not gonna talk too long about it. It's there if you're interested. But no matter what, hopefully this is a direct answer that gives you a little bit of an overview of little tricks you need to do, ideas that you can steal, but also what you need to be doing on a day-to-day basis to improve your chances to get to where you need to go. I've been your host for today. It's the big homie Drew. I'm out.